Hello there. So we are going to be creating this effect here. This is something the pipe itself is something I downloaded from the fab. It was free, so you can easily go ahead and download it. It's called Old Industrial Pipe Pack PBR. Other than that, this is the main thing that interests us. So to do that, we are going to I always do this inside the starter content, right click, Niagara system, and I use fountain. So I use that, create and name it something. I named it NS underline smoke burst. So the other thing, we have the fountain here. The other thing we need to create at the moment is the material. So I already created mine. You can just go ahead and right click material and left click and create a material, call it M underline fire 1 or something else if you prefer that. And we need a texture here. This is something that you can download in the description. This is something I baked myself using Niagara fluids. If you don't know how to do that, there's a ton of videos on the internet. I even created one myself. I can't really find it right now. There's like 1,000 of videos regarding that. So I baked that using Niagara fluids. It's pretty easy. If you don't like this texture, you can go ahead and use that, or if you're a Houdini guy, you can do that as well. If not, you can just go ahead and download the texture I created from the description below. Open the texture, and then if you can see it, the imported texture is very big, but I do need it to be 2048. Just more optimized. We don't really need to do anything else. And then if you pay close attention, this is the red channel. This is something that we are going to be working with in our material. So drag the texture inside, or if you do want that, you can use a texture sample node, right click and texture sample, and then select the texture back there. This is like the area that you can select the texture if you want something else, or if you can do it whatever you want. You select whatever you want there. We need the particle color, right click particle color, this one right here, because we want control inside our Niagara system. And then from the RGB, we need hold M on your keyboard and left click and multiply, and then we multiply this by the red channel RGB, and then this one goes into the base color, as you can see. One thing to note is that the material domain is surface, blend mode is translucent. This is called translucent or transparent in other Unreal Engine versions. I can't really remember because I've never properly read it before, but right now it's called translucent gray transmittance. We only have one translucency, so you can just go ahead and select it. It's not masked, it's translucent. We need to use the opacity input for our material. If you're working with mobile, I'd recommend you go ahead and change the shading model to unlit as well. That way the light doesn't affect the effect at all. But in this one, we don't really need to use unlit, and we want it to be lit by any light source in our scene, so this is fine. As you can see, we're using the red channel because we want to change the color later on, and we use the alpha channel and multiply it by a particle color. As you can see here, right click multiply or hold M, and this one goes into a depth fade because we need it to be blended with different walls or objects if there's anything around it. We don't want the smoke, we don't want the effect to be, if I do it like this, we don't want it to be clipping into everything. This is like really good. This is like, it's blending the smoke a little, and that looks really good. This is the effect we want, and this is achievable by depth fade, and fade distance is 100. This is another thing that since we're here, I'm going to explain this one as well. If you use, instead of translucent, if you use masked, you have the option to use the dither temporal AA anti-aliasing and multiply it by the opacity and then use the opacity mask input. That way the effect is like much more performant. Like, I mean, I'm talking about like 1,000 times more performant. Because it doesn't render everything. Like, we have 15 sprites here, so it doesn't render the scene, the exact pixels 15 times more. This just uses pixels, and then renders them just once, which is really performant. Everything's GPU based, and this is like less load on GPU, but we don't really need it in here. We can have all of that load on our, like, on the modern GPUs at the moment, so we don't really need that. So this is the material. There's nothing else, to be honest. The amount of details is just enough, more than enough. So let's head back into the Niagara system. We already have the fountain. I'm just going to show you what I have in here. If you don't see it on yours, add it. If not, if you see something else, just delete it and make sure everything's similar to mine. So the properties is GPU. So this needs to be GPU based. It's just more performance. We just try to not use CPU at all costs. In earlier versions, you need to make sure that the bounds is fixed. It doesn't really need that at the moment, so I don't know what's changed. I honestly have no idea. And this is all just default. If you want to, you can use scalability mode to self and add other stuff like distance calling or visibility calling, but that's up to you. I've already set it up and I'm using it. It makes the game more performant, which is nice, which is what we want. And I have the spawn rate. If you don't see it, just use this icon here. You have the spawn rate and click on it. I'm having 15. You can play around with it. We're not using spawn bursts. If you go into the initialized particle, this is something that you have. I'm using lifetime min and max set to 2. Those are similar. And color, this is where you change the color entirely. So if you want something blue, this is what you have. If you want something like red, you can do it here. And this is happening because we're using the red channel here. We're only using white and black and white, so this is nice. And then we only have a velocity, so go ahead and type in velocity, add velocity, and then I'm using in a cone, and I'm using a random node here, random range floats, and then it's between 10 and 40 unit. I'm using this, it adds some randomness as well. And the cone angle is 0 and it's on the z-axis. And then I'm using a scale color. You don't really need to use it because you're already using a texture, but keep in mind that it's good, it's not that bad, but we want it to be more subtle. This is just too much. So I'm using a scale color. And then we are using a RGB and we are using a curve. So float from curve, use this, and then add key on this. The first key should be at 0 and then 0.6. The second key should be at 0.5 and then the value should be 1, and the third one should be at 1 and then at 0.6, and the scale curve should be 0.2. This is like the it multiplies everything by this color. So if I have 0.2, this is like a little more subtle. If you want it to be more subtle, maybe this is like a lot more subtle, as you can see. This is like artistic stuff, so you can just go ahead and do it yourself. This is added if you add velocity, and it will add this one itself as well. So you need sub UV animation as well. So sub UV, if you don't have a sub UV animation, and sprite render should be sprite render, and etc. Sprite render, though, this is where you use the material we created. So this is the material. You can just find it in the content browser and then select it in the material section. Alignment should be velocity aligned. If you don't use that, yeah, everything breaks. So alignment should be velocity aligned. And then things automatic. So sub UV blending enabled. This is what we use. This is you should have this enabled, and sub image size should be 8 by 8. This is because my image is a 8 by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 by 8. And one thing that I haven't set anything. So in the initialized particle, sprite size is random uniform, and I'm using 80 to 120, and sprite rotation mode is directly set to 0. It's because our velocity is driving the rotation. So this is something else to keep in mind. I believe I've explained everything. This is a blueprint class I created. So if you don't know how to do that, right click blueprint class and actor and name it something. I'm going to delete it. And then I just dragged the static mesh around and made sure it's pretty small, like this. Looks cool. And I added everything. I even added a sound to it. Yeah, just like that. And this is all. I hope this helps. And if you like that, please like the video, and I wish you a great day. Bye.